Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. This is DiceGames and today I'm going to be doing something a bit different. Today I'm going to be doing a start of a new series probably called A Day With. My goal with this series is to kind of teach you guys how to beat certain demons that I've beaten already, that I love. So today we're going to start with Altair. Altair is a really fun level by Viprin. Probably his best mega collab in my opinion. It's a hard demon, probably borderline insane demon, and I would totally recommend this. It's a great demon when you're going to start to attempt much harder levels, for instance insane demons. I jumped from Altair to Magma Bound, which is the first insane demon I ever beat. Anyway, so let's get started. It originally took me like 4k attempts because I'm bad. I originally beat this on mobile. 60 Hz Altair is way different than 144 Hz Altair. There's some timings that are on 60 Hz that is different than on 144 Hz, and I'll detail that a little bit. Anyway, let's get straight into it. I'm just going to do a practice run right off the bat. So to begin, you have this first cube by Codex, which is an excellent part of the level. It mainly just consists of a few timings here and there. You can jump here, and then the orbs that you have to click have arrows inside of them. Don't click any of the ones that have the X's inside. It's a bit hard to see, but you'll get it down eventually. It's pretty easy once you get it. Some of his parts have some timings that you should get used to, like you have to hit it syncs very well with the music, so you have to go 1, 2, 3, and you have to really time it late. Now, this dash orbs are infamously difficult. They're not that bad once you get them down. So you really just have to tap very central on the dash orbs. I suggest you be very central on all of the dash orbs in this level, because being central allows you to really focus in and stay in line with the gameplay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold, and make sure you don't hit that too low or too high. Now here there's a few ways to do this upcoming part. That part you have to be very centralized with the dash orb. You can either walk up the staircase here, or you can skip a step. So you can either do that, or you can do this. And that's actually how I beat the level, when I did it first. That is a timing right over here. After doing a few of these small little jumps, try not to overshoot this. After doing this small little jump, this is a timing right here. You can't go too far up or else you're going to miss it. You can't go too low or else you're going to plummet into the spikes below. So, you have to hit right in the middle. This is Erdyuri's part. Make sure in this section you don't go up all the way here. So you go in here, and then you might go all the way up here. Don't go up there. That will kill you. You want to be careful when you're there. So, this is a timing here, and it's okay if you hit the block right here. That's fine too. That will not kill you. And then you have the dash orb, a few more timings. You cannot hold over here, you'll just fall, so you have to click 3 times. This part, right here, this ship after Erdy's part, Darwin's part, is very difficult. For me, when I started out with this level, it was the hardest part for me in the level. I mainly just follow the arrows that are here. And I always hold, and then right after I finish going into a portal, I let go and then tap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's the click pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, you'll get into this dual ship, which people find also very difficult. It's because dual ship gravity is a lot more intense than regular mini-ship gravity. So what you have to do is compensate for that by holding a little bit more when you're the ship here. So you have to just follow the arrows here. And that gets pretty consistent easily once you start practicing it. Now, once you get through this part, you're going to end up at Viprin's part, which is very annoying at some points. There are some odd timings in here with black orbs and stuff. You have to normally click these like normal timings. And then you get to this here. The green orb is a timing here. You have to hit it late or else you're going to hit the spike there. So yeah, late like that, and you want to hit this orb as early as possible. You can't actually hit this gear here, so you can hit that as soon as possible if you want. Just make sure that when you're jumping, you actually time this green orb after. Because if you hit that late, like that, you're going to fly right into the spikes. So you want to hit that late. Now here, you want to be careful not to hold, because if you hold too much, you're going to jump to the saw here. And so that is a timing. These are all timings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now here, there are also two ways to do this part. You can either spam here and do 1, 2, 3, 4 with the blue orbs and then hit the last one up there. Or you can just choose to hit 2 of the blue orbs, which is what I did in my completion video, because I'm not the best at spamming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, and that works too. Or you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that works too. So now we get to the drop of the level. So the way the Terron part works is that on 60 Hz, you can just hold, and it will carry you through the next few jumps. However, on 144 Hz, that doesn't work. You have to time the jumps. So as soon as you hit this blue pad, after you hit the blue pad and you start going up, hold. And then let go, and then the next jump after that you want to time. So hold, time, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's how this part works. I'm going to do that one more time. Okay, so I'm going to do this one more time for you guys. So remember, hold and then time, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It actually syncs very well with the music in the real level. Hold, time, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And that is how you do that part. So now, what you have to do in this section is that there's two different paths you can go. There's a wave path that not too many people know about because it's actually way more difficult than the normal path. And then there's the normal ship path, which is way easier. And nothing benefits you from going on the wave path, so I completely recommend you go to the ship part, since it's way easier, in my opinion. Anyway, so to do the ship part, which I'm going to do first, is you have to just let it carry you. It will automatically carry you all the way on this arc here. So then, you just kind of level yourself out at the bottom here. Try not to hit the lotus or whatever flower this is in the middle, because that will kill you. And then you bump yourself up with the orb here, pretty self-explanatory, and then just even yourself out. You don't even have to follow the arrows once you're in here. You can just even yourself out. And then you hit the orb and then keep holding until this portal here. Anyway, so here's how you do this part now. You have to go up and above and take the wave, and now just watch my movements with the wave, because it's very hard to explain how exactly you're supposed to do this part. It's really weird and very inconsistent, since gravity switching with the wave there, it's not really suitable for gravity switching. It's very difficult to pull that off with this block formation that you see there in the level. That's why it's easier with the ship, in my opinion. So now we continue into Farade's part of the level, which is really fun, honestly. It's probably the most fun part of the level, in my opinion, besides Osiris's part, which is the next part. Everything in Farade's part you have to click early. Every single click is early except for that green orb that you see right here. That one's late. That timing right here with the green orb is very late, or else you're going to plummet into this. So make sure now you take the dash orb as soon as possible. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1. And that's the timing for that. So now, then you have to click that toggle orb as soon as possible, or else this move platform will actually bump you up in a weird way and will kill you. Now, Ferdefunky's part is over. Osiris's part, which is probably the most fun part in the level, it gets really consistent really quickly. Okay, so right here, you time your ship input. Time. So time, hold, and then click. You'll see the arrows that you have to click on the blocks. And then here, you can either choose to, in the UFO, click once, and that will be fine, or you can spam click 1, 2, 3, like that, but like really quick succession, and that can kill you unless you're on lower hertz. So I would suggest that you just do 1, 2, and then use the second one as like a timing. So now you kind of go down the staircase a little here, and now you just jump here and then hold, and then that's going to set you up for this little transition right here with the cube and the dual portal. Now, when you go here on lower hertz, for instance 60 hertz, it's kind of bugged, so you want to make sure you go into the portal higher. I think that kind of helps with making it less buggy, as this platform up here, you hit it too late and then you end up face planting into the spikes over here, and you don't reach this jump pad. So what you have to do is enter this if you're on 60 hertz, enter this sort of close to the top of the portal, and make sure you click it as soon as you can also. So now to continue, now you just kind of hold, and then you can click the black orb. And now here we have Rafer's part, which is actually pretty self-explanatory. You have to hit the black orb, then bonk on these 2 orbs, and then time right there. You don't want to hit it too early. And I like to click to the music in this part because it's pretty well synced. And now you have this little toggle orb here, which you hit your head, and that causes a little explosion. And now you go down into a nice little straight ship, which you can level yourself out, and then a small little triple. But you're at 2 times speed, so it's not even that scary, the triple. Here is the scary part. Aquatias' duel. Now this part is tough, man. This part is really, really tough. I love it. I also hate it. And there is multiple ways you can go about this. I'm going to show you how you can go about it the most easily. So the click pattern I use for going about Aquatias' duel is as follows. Alright, so you have to jump over this here, tap once, and then as soon as you hit this portal, you have to hit it as soon as possible. So that, or else that will happen and you'll end up on the same platform. And that's not what we want. So you want 1, and then you want to be able to do that. So you can hold here. So listen to what I do. It's gonna go quickly, so watch what I do. And listen to what I say, too. Every time I say the number 2, it means I'm holding. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna teach you how to do this, and I'm gonna break it down after I do it once, okay? Alright, so 1, 2, hold. Let go. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. You don't have to hold when you get into the ball. 1, 2, hold, let go. 1, 2, 1, 2. Let go. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's the timings. It's weird. You will experience glitches once in a while. Just stick to that click pattern and you will succeed. Trust me. It's kind of weird. But anyway, this upcoming part, there's a lot of weird paths that are inside of it, and you kind of have to navigate a little weirdly. Once you figure it out, it gets really consistent also. So you don't have to go up there, you can just choose to hold, and then you go 1, 2, 1, 2. So let me tell you the click pattern. Hold, 1, 2, 1, 2. And that's the click pattern for this UFO. You don't have to do this whole thing where you do this. You don't have to do that at all. That's annoying, and it's not consistent. This is way more consistent, and sets you up for the UFO way easier. Now, when you get into this part, there is a few ways to do it also. So you can choose to either just hit the red orb and call it a day, or you can hit the red orb and then do that. Personally, the way I like to do it is just do that just in case there's a glitch that happens, and because it also lines you up a little easier for that ramp. So you can choose to go 1, 2, 1, 2, and then hold, and then figure out this ship part, or go just 1, call it a day, and figure out the ship part there. And that ship part gets really consistent also. It's just a few timings. Here we come to the most awkward part of the level, Rustam's part. Lots of people say that this part is really awkward and that there's a lot of odd timings involved. The way that this part works is you have to click everything in the right order and the right timing, because everything affects everything else you do in this part. So it's super inconsistent. I've dotted it like 4 times when I originally started this level. The way we go about Rustam's part now is we go 1, 1, 1, 2. It actually is really well synced to the music, so if we played it with the music, we'll hear it a little bit better. I'm going to do that after. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And it's very odd because of the speed changes and also the really weirdness of that red orb in the middle. And the weird timings, because if you as so much hit things oddly, it will just mess everything up. So this orb here, you have to make sure you time your jumps so that you hit the orb. And now when you get into this portal up here, you cannot hit the orb as soon as possible. You have to wait, because sometimes the orb will you'll hit the orb and you'll still be a normal cube size, if that makes sense. You won't be shrinking down into a mini cube, therefore the jump will be higher, and then you'll plummet into the spikes above. What you have to do is time your jump. So you go 1, 1, 2, 3, and that's how you do that part consistently. Now, there's an orb in here that you can just hit as soon as possible. That's completely fine. And there's an orb inside there, and that will just take you down this little staircase. And then you just jump as soon as you can. It really doesn't matter when you jump here, but what does matter is how you do this timing, because the red orb is super inconsistent here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. You don't have to do that. Like, there's different ways of doing this little section, and it all works out, but you have to make sure that that green orb is hit late. And also, you cannot skip that red orb, or else you plummet into the saw below. So you have to hit the red orb, and then hit the pink orb here. And then, you have to time this, because if you hit it too early, you'll miss the ball portal. So, there is a lot to get down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. And you have to hit this centrally as possible. You cannot just let it take you, or else you will fall into the spikes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. And then these 3 orbs are timed. You have to hit this one late, hit this one late, and then hit this one in as centrally as possible. And there's a possibility that you'll hit it and end up low. And then you have to be careful that when this portal activates, you don't fall into the spikes. So you have to make sure that you're as central as possible with this dash orb. So watch this one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So as you saw, I got pretty close to the spikes with the red orb. You really have to be careful with that, and it's super difficult because you'll be a little bit ahead or you'll be a little bit behind. It's very odd. Anyway, so then you have here, and you don't want to jump as soon as possible, or else you're going to just face plant into the spikes. So you want to time it and then hit 1, 2, 3, and that's probably the more awkward timing of that. Like that's less awkward than the previous ball and red orb section. So now you just walk down this little staircase here. You can just kind of like 1, 2, 3 as quick as possible. And now we get to, in my opinion, the most fun part of the level. I know I've said that for a lot of parts, but this part is probably the most fun and the most awesome because it's right at the end of the level and it's super intense. This is Vlacc's part. I will do the click pattern once, and then I will repeat it to you out loud, and then I'll go section by section like I did with Rustam's part. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2. And that's the timing. So we're gonna go one more time from there. Okay, so I just made a copy bowl. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna let it slide, and now we're gonna just follow this click pattern. I'm gonna say it one more time, okay? Okay, did you get that? If not, I'm gonna say it now out loud. So 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, hold, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, hold, and then you go. That was not very good, I have to say. Alright, so then in that case, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk you through each part slowly. Okay, so first we have just the green orb and the red orbs to deal with, and these 2 blue orbs. So only hit the green and then the 2 blue. So 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, and now make sure you do not hit this one late. You want to hit this one as early as possible so that you go down the slope. Now don't touch anything here with the green orb and the blue portal. You want to just let it go down. You want to jump 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4 would be the click pattern. 1, 2, 3, but it's really in really quick succession. So 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, and that should allow you to slide up like this, and then you want to hit that orb there sort of late. So now when you get past this part here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you have this little ship here, which is actually really consistent once you get through it first time. You don't want to hold, you just want to kind of strain yourself out, and then when you get to the top here, you can either just hold going into the ship, which will trigger the orb, but make sure not to jump, because that will mess up your trajectory. You can either go through this and hold, or you can just click at the end of the ship, and that works fine too. 1, ship hold. and then let go right at the end. Or you can just go 1, 2, ship, tap, 1, 2, 3. And that's how that part works. So now we get to the little bit of a more convoluted section right before the end. This is a choke point for people. I never died there. I actually died right at the beginning once, at 92. So here's how we do this part. This part is going to be a little bit hard to explain since it goes in really quick succession. But I'm going to try and explain it to the best of my ability. So you want to jump here as soon as you can. 1, 2. You have to jump out of this block and not fall down. So, and then after you jump, I would suggest you hold. And then when you hold here, as soon as you let go, you have to tap this black orb. Then hold after you tap the black orb, because then you want to jump into the pink orb. So you go 1, 2, hold, jump, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's how it works. Don't hit the red orb at the end. You will die. So, last time, I'm going to do the part. And then I'm going to go through each section with the music. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Tap, ship part, tap. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, hold. 1, 2, 1, 2. And that's how it works. So, there's a few small double clicks here and there in the level, but overall, it gets super consistent quickly. We're going to go part by part now. I'm just going to try and speak really quickly. The way you do this, just tap. That's as centralized as possible. Central. I skip that platform. 1, 2, 1, 2. Middle. You can just land there if you want. And now remember the click pattern is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 1. Hold, little swing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. As soon as possible, the black orb. And hit those last 2. Now hold, timing, and now we're gonna go back into practice. If what I said did not make any sense, I'm so sorry. I was just kind of talking without really saying anything. Anyway, that part, that's a timing. Just remember that. On 144 Hz, it's a timing. On 60 Hz, it's not a timing. Okay, so we're gonna go about this again. Hold, time, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Straighten yourself out. Hold, 1, 1, 2, 3. As soon as possible, all of these clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2. Above the 1, 2. And now you swoop. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Tap the little orb there, and now Aquatias is good. 1. Hold. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Hold, hold. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and then now straighten yourself out. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1. Now straighten out. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, hold there, and 1, 2, 1, 2. And there you go. So that's how you do Altair. I don't know how I just did that. I pretty much just beat the level without even realizing it. But, you know what? If I hadn't died there at the middle, I probably would have been alright. Anyway, that's how you beat Altair. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's awesome. This level's great. I'm sure you guys will love it too. And despite all the weirdness that is in this level, it's seriously unbelievably fun. There are some really interesting parts. And Rafer's part, even though it's really weird and wacky, it gets super consistent. It really does. Once you get it down, it gets consistent. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.